talk a little bit about maybe a poor choice in promotion. We will also talk about something that happened in Monday Night Football that maybe they should have gone a little bit different. I should say Sunday Night Football, and maybe they should have had a different option for betting on that over at FanDuel. And we'll talk about a guy that we know, a prominent guy out in the industry who's kind of issued a challenge, if you will, that has been put out there. But Adam, let's kick things off with Florida.
Yeah, we have to start with what could become the biggest sports market in the country again, as it looks like the path is largely clear to Florida sports betting after sort of I guess we can call it not a last ditch, but maybe a second to last ditch appeal by Wes Flagler, who has been pushing against the compact that the Seminole tribe has with the state of Florida that allowed it to start its Hard Rock Bet app, then was subsequently shut down. Anyway, in the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, they were denied a rehearing on a petition that did not go their way. The long and short of it is, if you're in Florida and you're waiting for Hard Rock to restart its app, it could, big asterisk on could, start within a week or so. Now, Wes Flagler has the option to take this to the Supreme Court. Our John Holden has written on it and said that he does expect that they would ask the Supreme Court to take up the case. However, as we probably remember from the PASPA days, it is rare for the Supreme Court to choose to actually take up a case that has been put in front of it. About 1% of the cases that are sent to the Supreme Court will actually be heard by the Supreme Court. Now, John thinks that this could get wrapped up with some other tribal issues, and that would give it a better chance to be heard at the Supreme Court. But as of right now, what we're talking about for Florida is the fact that Hard Rock could restart sometime soon. Important to keep in mind that this market continues to be a total monopoly. It is Hard Rock, or Hard Rock. You will not have other options in the state unless another sportsbook is willing to pay a significant revenue share to Hard Rock, which, as evidenced by their attempt to get a petition on the ballot a couple of years ago to open up the market, they are not particularly excited about.
So, Dustin, when we take a look at this, we are familiar with the team behind everything that's going on over there at Hard Rock Digital. And so I am not thinking we would get the same thing we got when there was a monopoly in DC, which we were getting horrible lines. We were getting absolutely absurd things where we even said on this podcast, hey, you should probably just keep your money offshore as opposed to betting into these markets because it's absolutely obscene. I don't imagine we will be getting the same, even though they would be technically the kind of only game in town. I use that, with air quotes because there is still bookies and offshores and stuff.
Yeah, I don't believe that Hard Rock's going to run this badly. Again, I live in a monopoly state with DraftKings in Oregon. It's a good product. It's a good product. It's like DraftKings everywhere else. I get retention bonuses. I get promos. I get all of that stuff. I don't get worse odds. DraftKings just making all the money in Oregon, which, not necessarily right, but that is what it is. I think Hard Rock running as a monopoly does the same, runs the same product it runs everywhere else, gives good odds, promotes it, tries to get players to come in and stay. And at the end of the day, that's fine. It's better than the status quo of nothing, right? That's better. Mm-hmm. And we, again, like Adam said, we have this, at least a chance of more of that. Again, remiss if I'd say you can play fantasy versus the house in Florida right now. If you want to, you can. I'm saying if you're the Seminole tribe, maybe you'd want to take a look at this and see if this DFS daily fantasy sports product, is it all like sports betting? And maybe you'd want to stop that if you're going to have legal sports betting in the state. Just saying.
Maybe that's a long tease here to our last topic that we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the program here.